Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a project that sits at the intersection of two of the biggest trends in tech, AI and blockchain. It's called Lightchain AI. They've raised millions of dollars on this incredible vision of a blockchain that can actually think for itself. But the big question is this really the future, or is it just some very, very expensive hype? And that really gets to the heart of what we're looking at today. Is putting AI on the blockchain the next great technological revolution? Or is it just a new, high-tech way to package up a whole lot of risk? All right, so to really get what Lightchain AI is all about, we first have to understand the problem that they claim they're here to solve. The idea here is, well, it's huge. They want to move blockchains beyond being just simple ledgers for recording who paid who. The goal is to build a network that can perform intelligent tasks all on its own, creating essentially a decentralized collective computer brain. Okay, so that's the dream. But how are they actually planning to build this thinking blockchain? Let's dive into the core technology they say is going to make all of this possible. Now this is where it gets really fascinating. On the left, you've got the old way of doing things, right? Computers burning just incredible amounts of energy to solve these random math puzzles, all just to keep the network secure. But on the right, you see their vision, a network that's secured by computers doing useful AI work. And they've got a snappy name for it, of course. Proof of intelligence. Now, if this works, it's a total game changer. I mean, imagine all that computing power that's currently just securing the network. Imagine if it was also training AI models or running complex data analysis. Suddenly, network security isn't a waste of energy. It's actually a productive byproduct. And the second major piece of this puzzle is what they're calling the AI virtual machine, or AIVM. You can kind of think of this as the operating system for their new intelligent blockchain. It's the layer where developers could, in theory, build and run their own AI-powered apps, creating a network that doesn't just store data, but actively thinks. It's a really compelling vision, isn't it? But how does it actually stack up against reality? Let's hit pause on the promises for a second and just look at the hard numbers. So there's no doubt that this project has grabbed people's attention. We're talking about over $21 million raised through a pre-sale event. That's a huge signal that people are very, very interested in this idea. And get this, that $21 million didn't just come from a few big-shot investors. It came from roughly 34,000 different token holders. So the appeal for an AI-powered blockchain is definitely broad. But, and this is a really big but, this is where the story starts to take a bit of a turn. Despite all the money raised and all the backers, independent analyses keep pointing to one critical thing. The core technology doesn't actually exist yet. The promises are, for now, just that, promises. The project's own timeline really tells the story here. So the pre-sale finished up at the end of 2025. But the mainnet, the actual working blockchain, isn't even scheduled to launch until July 2026 at the absolute earliest. That is a long, long time for a product that's already got $21 million in the bank. Yeah, and that huge gap between the money they've raised and a finished product is what's leading to some serious red flags, things that have been highlighted over and over in public analyses of the project. When you dig into these independent reviews, the same four concerns keep popping up. A totally anonymous team, really aggressive marketing, a lot of negative reports from the community, and maybe most importantly, a complete lack of any verifiable code. Let's look at each of those a little closer. Okay, first, and this one is a doozy, the team. Who are the actual people behind this multi-million-dollar project? The short answer is we have no idea. The founders are totally anonymous. In any project, that is a massive red flag because it means if something goes wrong, there is zero accountability. Then there's the way they've been marketing this. If you go on forums like Reddit, you'll see tons of reports from people describing these high-pressure, buy now or miss out forever tactics. That, plus the fact that they keep changing their launch dates, has made a lot of people in the community pretty skeptical. So where does that leave us? How do we weigh this incredible futuristic promise against the actual hard evidence we have right now? Let's just lay it all out on the table. Let's just break it down. On one side, you've got the promise, this revolutionary tech that's decentralized, community-run, totally secure. But then you look at the proof. In the tech, well, it's not live yet. The team, anonymous. Audits, none that are public. The only concrete thing is the $21 million that's been raised based entirely on a vision. That's a pretty big gap.
So, look, what would it take for a project like Lightchain AI to actually gain some real credibility? Well, the path to building trust isn't a secret. It's pretty straightforward, really. You publish your code so anyone can check it, you get it audited by security firms people trust, you reveal who's actually building the thing, and then you launch a working product that does what you said it would do.
And that really brings us to our final thought. Lightchain AI is a really interesting case study, but the lesson here is so much bigger than just one project. In a tech world that is just full of hype, maybe the most important question we can ever ask is always the same. Where's the proof?